Hi folks, it's Andy and welcome to the Kendo Show. Today we're talking about Ouji Waza. Ouji Waza literally means responsive strikes. It's where you parry a strike and then return with one of your own. It's based on the concept of Debana Waza though, so if you haven't seen our video about Debana Waza, it'll be up here on the screen somewhere, a link. Make sure you click it and go and watch that one first, because you're going to need the info from that video to understand what I'm talking about in this video. Before we get started, a quick shout out to Manchester Kendo Club for helping with the video, and also don't forget to do your shopping at KendoStar.com. KendoStar is the equipment website that I run. Not only does it support this channel, but it provides equipment that's particularly designed with the international community in mind. So get over to KendoStar.com and check out what we've got. With all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so let's talk about Ouji Waza. We'll talk about Ouji Waza against men and Ouji Waza against Kote. Ouji Waza means reactive techniques, okay? So it means a technique in response to a technique of your opponent. Now, the basis of Ouji Waza is rooted in Debana Waza, okay? So if you haven't watched the video we did about Debana Waza, go and watch that first, okay? Get sort of accommodated with the concept of it, and then you're going to be able to understand what we're talking about now a little bit better. So, when we were talking about Debana Waza, we were talking about, from our cutting distance, first applying semi, making sure he's in this situation where he wants to make an attack. Okay, we're going to get him sort of riled up, we're going to get him all excited, then we're going to press his go button and he's going to come and attack our men. Yeah? He's all excited, and he wants to attack our men. Yeah? And I'm using my footwork, like I say, to press that button on him that's going to make him come and attack. Now, sometimes they don't act in the way that you expect. Of course, it's wonderful if we're here and then he does exactly what I was hoping, and I'm able to achieve this Debana Waza. However, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's going to do something else. Maybe he's going to wait a second, okay? In which case, I'm going to have to react to that moment as well. Now, this is what Ouji Waza is. Reacting, okay? Let's talk about hitting the door in response to his men. My favorite waza of hitting door against men is Men Nuki Do, okay? And it works very similarly to Debana Waza. I have to, I have to instigate the situation. I have to make sure he is attacking first, and door, like this. However, he is attacking a little bit later than if I was to be doing Debana Men. If I'm doing Debana Men, the whole thing happens a little bit quicker. But with Nuki Do, it's when that moment comes a little bit later. Yeah? Oh, he didn't come. Do. Okay? This is how Nuki Do works. It's in response to him reacting slightly differently to how I was particularly expecting. Again, so I'm coming forward with my right foot again. But I'm already now at the point where I would want to launch my Debana Waza if I was going to do so. But he hasn't attacked yet. Instead, he's attacked a split second later. Now, this allows me to perform a different Ouji Waza. What happens then if he attacks even later? If it's a split second later again? Well, if you could just go back for me a little bit, that's great. Okay, again, I'm going to start to do semi, but now he hasn't come until now, this time. Okay, so it's even later. So now, it's now too late for me to go for that Nuki Do, really. Instead, I can go for Men Kaeshi Do, okay? Again, this way, okay? This also works for several other waza. For example, Men Suriage Men. Again, I'm applying semi. He's not attacking at the point that I expected him to attack for my Debana Waza. So, instead, he's going to attack now. And I'm going to respond with Ouji Waza instead. Like this, okay? Or it could be Men Kaeshi Men. Men. This way. Okay? The point isn't so much the actual waza, it's how the waza happens. So, we've done a video in the past about seme, particularly based on a lecture I was given by Sumi Sensei about using the right foot to apply seme. Now, this is one way. This is now a slightly different application of seme. Okay? We're talking about pushing forward the right leg, and it's depending on how he reacts to that, how we're going to strike. If he attacks immediately, then I can use my Debana waza. If his attack is a little bit later than I was expecting, I can use Nuki waza. If his attack is even later, then I can use Suriage or Kaeshi. Okay? The point is making sure I'm focusing on all of the opponent and understanding when his attack is coming. And that's how I can select which waza to use. Again, this is something that most of us can't just do on the spot. Okay? Okay, I'm coming for Debana Men. Oh, it hasn't worked. This is likely to happen rather than a reflexive Oji-waza. However, throughout the encounter, I'm going to realize, okay, this guy, in response to my seme, instead of attacking immediately as I come forward, he attacks a little bit later. So then I can start to approach him with a different waza in mind. Yeah? I want you to understand, I'm not saying that at your first encounter, you have to suddenly change your tactics mid-waza, okay? It's not going to work. Instead, okay, I'm going for Debana waza. Oh, it didn't work. He came a bit later than I was expecting. Okay, next time, he comes a bit later. Okay, I can deal with that. Okay, and I can select the waza for the next interaction. Okay, this is how we have to judge our opponent throughout our interaction. Okay? So, this is some methods of Oji-waza against men. Next, let's have a look at Oji-waza against Kote. Okay, so let's look at some Oji-waza against Kote. Now, we talked about doing Oji-waza against men for particularly against the men that comes after our seme. So perhaps he reacts a little bit slower than we wanted, so we do some kind of Oji-waza. This doesn't happen so often with Kote, okay? People don't tend to attack your Kote after this kind of seme, yeah? They don't tend to just randomly attack your Kote. Instead, I find that Oji-waza works best against people that favor attacking Debana Kote or Degote, okay? However, it's not super great against this kind of Degote, this kind we covered in the last video, where you start from here, you do seme. It doesn't work great against this one, okay? Because the interaction is a bit different. The best time to use Kote Oji-waza is against the kind of person that wants to do Degote, that kind of, I'm going to do Degote, come on, hit my man, I'm going to do Degote, and then he attacks men. They try and do this kind of, you must have seen this kind of player, yeah? They're here, their feet are pretty much dead, or they often have a wide stance, and then as soon as they go, like this, yeah? This is not the good Degote, which is why it's vulnerable to Oji-waza. So, most Oji-waza rely on you, one, moving very quickly, and two, the motodachi, or the attacker, often they are effective against attackers that don't have very much momentum. Okay, so if I was to strike Kote, just Kote, if they are the kind of moving in very quickly, it's quite difficult to do Oji-waza. Fortunately, lots of people, particularly in competitions, have a tendency to chop at Kote, like this. It's very easy to do Oji-waza. So, assuming he's trying to do Degote, but he's doing the bad Degote, okay? The bad Debana Kote. He's sort of fishing for it. So, I can get an impression that this is what he wants. Throughout our encounter, perhaps I've seen him in other matches, perhaps I've seen him in competition before, I've practiced him a lot at the dojo, I know that he's this kind of player. It's responsive, okay? It's called machiken in Japanese, a waiting sword, okay? I'm waiting for him to hit, so he's gonna hit, like this, yeah? So, what kind of waza have we got that we can do? First, the easiest one, I think, for me, is Kote Suriage Men, okay? But we're gonna let him think that we're gonna do that men. Quick for men. Men. Okay, so there's a little bit of a prompt from me. Again, I'm pushing that go button on him. Yeah? Here. Ha! Man! Yeah? I can't just wait. If I just wait, he's not gonna attack. Because he's gonna try and get me with that degote that he's waiting for. So I have to fool him into thinking I'm coming for men. Man! This way. Or we could do I Kote Men. This is where we hit Kote Men in response to his kote. Ha! Man! This way. Okay? Nuki Men. Kote Nuki Men. Very popular. Ha! Man! It's quite difficult. You have to move very quickly. And you have to be careful because most people with this waza, it's very popular amongst lower level kendoka, actually. Yeah, this one. But most people tend to hit like this. It's hard to hit with this part of the shinai, and most people hit it far too hard. And it's very painful, and you break your shinai very easily. Another variation of nuki men. Ha! Man! It's like katsugi. Okay? Personally, I'm going to say to you, I recommend against these waza over other Oji-waza. Okay? If you've got the choice of Oji-waza against kote, nuki men, kote nuki men, is far more dangerous than the others. Okay? Particularly, perhaps I misjudge the distance. Huh! I could still receive the kote. Same with the other one. Huh! Yeah, this happens a lot. Okay? So, Suriage, for example, is another. Huh! Man! This way. If you want to get really fancy, some people like to do huh! Kote Kaeshi Kote or Kote Suriage Kote. Now, if you like this kind of waza, I'm going to recommend that you add something to it. Okay? From here, ha! Ha! Like this. It's okay, but it's very difficult for the shimpan to see. It's not a very clear ippon. However, what if we were to add an extra strike? From here, ha! Men! Kote men. Kote Suriage Kote men. This is also a valid strike. Ha! Men! Yeah? This is also okay. The point isn't which waza you specifically choose. It's how the waza happens, as with men. I have noticed throughout our interaction, he is a machiken. He's waiting for me to attack so he can do degote. Okay, I'm going to hit man. Man! But actually, it's the trick, and I'm going to do Kote Suriage Men or some kind of Oji-waza. Okay, so to recap quickly before we look at some mistakes, if it's against men, this way is to use seme, and depending on when he attacks, is when we're going to use the Oji-waza. Yeah? Or, if it's against kote, it's particularly good against a person that's waiting. Ha! Man! Okay? This is the way to use Oji-waza against men or against kote. Next, let's have a look at a few common mistakes that happen in both cases. Okay, so let's look at some common mistakes that people make with Oji-waza. So, first is, same as with the Bano-waza, they have the mistake that our example was using before of doing the machiken, the waiting. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for him to attack, man. Oh, and it's too late. Yeah, it's just too late. Even if I manage to block, I can't really do the correct waza. I end up doing this sort of rubbish technique. I have to instigate, okay? I have to instigate. Huh, yeah? Secondly, okay, men nuki do. Slowly, I have applied seme, pam, he's coming for men. I'm looking to hit the side of his door here. I'm not looking to hit the front of his door here. I have to hit the side of the door here, okay? With the good hasuji, correct blade angle. Common mistake. One is to hit the front of the door, not the side. Sounds different. Two, this happens with the hands, like this. This is incorrect. My sword is traveling downwards, cutting this way, bam. Last mistake is coming too far away. Yeah, I don't need to jump out of the way, miles away, because this will happen. And I just scrape the front of his door like this, or I'm leaving it too late, and I hit the front of the door because I'm turning all the way over here. I just have to get shoulder to shoulder, okay? So he's facing this way as the men comes here, okay? Here, door, like this, okay? One more time, door, okay? Kaeshi Do, same thing goes. Yeah? The actual door strike has to be the same. Now, what you mustn't do is block like this. Yeah? Block like this. Not like this, okay? It's not a massive swing of a technique. Yeah? See, I'll hit him in the ribs like I just did. Okay? Instead, it should be nice and compact. Oh. Yeah? Forward, pam pam. Nice and slowly, not slowly, nice and small, okay? Secondly, it must be in a single rhythm. You can attack my man. Oh, pam, one. And not, slowly this time, not like this. 1, 2, not like this, okay? 1, 2 is too slow, yeah? As he attacks man, 1. Okay? Posture, must keep a good posture. Not like this. Yeah? Not like this. Curling over. Keep a straight posture. Go. Yeah? I don't lean backwards or forwards. Lots of people lean backwards here and then lean forward for the door. Not correct. Posture's the same. This way. My energy is going forward the whole time. I'm not going backwards. My left foot doesn't come back as he attacks. My left foot doesn't come back. Like this. Everything's going forward. My right foot comes forward. Sa! No! Okay? Suriage Men. Men Suriage Men. As he comes for the men, I'm just using the shape of the shinai and a little bit of tenoichi to move it out of the way for my men strike. I don't make a huge strike, not like this, because I don't have time. If that happens, this will happen. This will happen, yeah? Sa, men, pa-pam, here, like this. Okay? I'm using mainly the shape of the shinai and a little bit of a twist of the wrists. Men Kaeshi Men. This is quite difficult. Here, I'm blocking forwards, okay? He could even think that I'm trying to do I-men, or of my own. Here, bam, like this. You have to keep your right hand where it is, and move the shinai with the left hand. Men, like this, not like this. Okay, I don't bring the right hand back, like this. Have to use flexible wrists again. Sa, them. Yeah? Personally, I like to strike his right men, migi men, for this waza, and not the straight shomen, because this is quite difficult because his hands are right in front of his body, and I'm still straight, reasonably straight on. I'm moving out to the side slightly, but straight men is actually a little bit harder to hit for me than migi men, okay? So I use a diagonal strike for this. So let's talk about the mistakes that people make for Oji-waza against Kote. Kote Kaeshi Men, for example, lots of people bring their hands back and upwards when they try to receive the Kote. If you could do that for me, like this, yeah? Even more extreme like this. And they try to make a huge movement. The problem is, in the process of bringing their hands to here, they often receive the Kote strike here, okay? So you'll often find that if you get hit on the Kote whilst trying to do Kote Kaeshi Men, it's because your hand positioning is incorrect. The correct position should be as he slowly comes forward, and down, okay? Here. And then, with my right hand, where it is, stays there, then it just turns around with my left hand into that Kaeshi Men. From here, like this, okay? I use the force of his strike to let my shinai come around for a clean men strike, okay? For Suriage, Kote Suriage, again, lots of people make the very large strike. It's not necessary. As he comes for the Kote, it's only small. Yeah? I mainly use the shape of the shinai. Again, then, or Suriage. Aigote men. This is where, he comes to Kote. I do Kote men in response to his Kote. It's not so important as to whether I hit the Kote or not. In fact, it's quite difficult as he's attacking Kote as well. It's unlikely we'll both be able to strike Kote at the same time. My idea is to get past this Kote so that I can hit men. Now, the biggest mistake most of us make with this waza is that our left foot isn't ready. The left foot is so important in Aigote men. If it's out here, or if it's relaxed, and he comes for Kote, we cannot do the waza, okay? Has to be nice and ready, yeah? Again, sa, rem! This way, okay? Striking straight. Again, as he comes, I mustn't try and hit sideways, okay? I hit straight. Like this, okay? Nuki waza, kote nuki men. If I let my hands, if I do this kind of kote nuki men, and it slowly comes for kote, and I let my hands come forward as I lift them up, then I will definitely receive kote. At the same time, though, I don't want to go like this. Like this, okay? Again, I don't really recommend this waza that much because what just happened happens a lot too. Again, he attacks the kote. Oh, this happens quite a lot, okay? It's not a great waza. But if you're going to do it, then it has to be sa, then, okay? Nice and smoothly. You don't need to come down with the force of the gods on his head, all right? Because you'll split your shinai and you'll split his head in half and his ears will be ringing, okay? People tend to favor this waza when they've got too much tension, okay? This is something that's quite common, actually, amongst people that have got too much tension in their upper body because they cannot do waza like this, that requires fluidity. So they rely on waza that is more like this, okay? Now, I didn't hit him as hard as I could. Thankfully, he's wearing a KendoStar Vanguard Men, which is very protective. available at KendoStar.com. And yeah, but because of that tension, they have a tendency to strike like this, okay? Please avoid doing this. The other type of nuki men, Kote nuki men, where I pull the shinai back this way, okay? You could even do nuki men actually a bit like the kata like this, but this is very risky too. Instead, if I'm going to pull it back, sa, like this, I have to make sure that I judge the timing perfectly and that I pull it back far enough. Because if I don't, I will receive kote. Okay? Again, my recommendation is stick with Kote Kaeshi Men, Kote Suriage Men, and Aigote Men. Okay? One more time. Sa, Kaeshi Men. Wo, sa, Suriage Men. Wo, sa, Aigote Men. Okay? These are the best ones. Okay? Please think about these mistakes. If you practice this, focusing mainly on how the waza happened rather than the actual which waza is better than this or that, or how to do the exact angle of this or that, then your Oji-waza will certainly improve. So that was all about Oji-waza. What did you think? Leave me a comment, let me know. Don't forget, like, share, do all the social stuff, you know, put it on Facebook, all that sort of thing. Leave us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't like the video, well, what can I say? Anyway, make sure you subscribe because we've got new videos coming out all the time. One more plug for KendoStar. You know I've got to do it. It's what keeps the channel going. Make sure you're shopping at KendoStar.com for all your equipment needs. Don't forget as well, we've got the Early Access Facebook group. It's totally free to join. There's a link down in the description. Basically, you join that, you'll get to see all the episodes before everybody else. So with all that being said, we've got new episodes coming very, very soon. Make sure you're subscribed and we'll see you in the next video.